Hello my friends and the rest of the video community, and welcome to Storytime with me. This is more of a hey, I'm back, I'm kind of ready to make more videos. I would like to explain what I've been doing on the past 4 weeks, why I didn't upload anything, how I currently feel about Black Desert, and to be honest, this is just more of a way for me to vent out whatever I want to say to the people who actually want to hear me out. So if you are not interested in story time, just me talking about nonsense, you can leave and I will see you in a different video. And if you want to stick around, this is not really scripted, the video may end up being quite long, and yeah, you already know what to expect. So what have I been doing on the past 4 weeks? Why didn't I upload anything or give any signs that I'm still around? I didn't really use Discord, I didn't start streaming like I said I would, and just overall on the past couple of months I uploaded way less than I normally do. Basically, this isn't the only break that I took of more than 1 week. Pretty much after I made the Blue Gear video 4 weeks ago, I played Black Desert a couple more days. I don't even remember what I did because it was nothing significant. I believe I did some monster hunting and a random, maybe one node door, random grinding, and after that I stopped playing the game altogether. So what happened? What is the reason why I decided to stop playing the game? There are a couple of points that I would like to bring up in the video, a couple of ideas that I want to talk about. There's also going to be a pretty important poll at the end that I would like most people to vote on. But if you don't want to stick around and you just want a quick answer, am I quitting the game? No, I'm still playing Black Desert. I didn't quit it, I just decided to take a quite long break from it. That's the main message. I assume you already know that, but yeah. This is more of a one-on-one conversation, at least that's how I would like to see this video, because nothing is really scripted. I just want to talk whatever is on my mind and just, as I said, vent out. So let me start from the beginning, from when I actually started playing Black Desert. Normally, from my past experiences, I play MMOs about 2 to 3 years before I move on to the next one. Usually I get addicted to games if I actually fall in love with them. As most people do, I try out different games, maybe I play them a couple of weeks or months until I decide the game is not for me and move on, and when something finally sticks, I usually commit to that one game and play it for about 2 to 3 years. Black Desert kind of reached the 2.5 year mark for me, and as you may expect where I'm going with this, I feel like I accomplished almost everything I can in the game. I feel like I'm at a point where I'm happy with what I did to get here. Basically, I have full tech armor, even though it's not the best one, full tri accessories. I feel like my gear is okay. I have no real incentive to keep on enhancing it. From when I bought the game, basically when I started Black Desert, I was playing it on a laptop that could only run the game at 50 FPS on very low settings. I bought the game for its graphics because it looked pretty nice at that time, 2.5 years ago, and because of the combat system. At that time it was actually the very first MMO that I would actually buy, as in a buy to play. For me that was quite revolutionary. Also the idea of actually using Discord to speak with people, I'm talking about my journey to through Black Desert. When I started, for me it was all new experiences, using Discord to talk to people, very new experience, exploring the world of Black Desert, going from spot to spot, finding out the experience ratios out of that, made my own spreadsheet, the money per hour values for all of the spots, exploring Valencia when that came out, exploring PvP, node wars with a guild, all of those stuff, basically what everyone enjoys in MMOs when they are actually fresh. For me, to actually enjoy an MMO, I like the game to be kind of fresh, as in the community to be rather new, the game to be somewhat new, and basically when I bought the game it was a really new experience, new looking game, new community, because the game was released only a couple of months before I bought it, and that's what I actually enjoyed about Black Desert, the fact that it was a new game, it was a new community, not much was already explored, as in I could explore the game for myself and not feel like the game already is full of endgame people. And fast forwarding through the 2 years of me playing the game and exploring its content, I reached today to a point where I feel like if I go out and grind a certain spot, I've already been grinding for 2 years, not much is really new. In terms of life skills, I feel like I explored most of it. My gear is at a point where I feel like you know, I'm fine with it. I do rather okay in Node Wars, and to enhance it any further would mean months of grinding for silver that will most likely blow up and give me nothing through enhancements, just because the enhancement system is that bad. And how do I feel about the game? It's kind of meh currently. Even with a Dragon patch, I was quite looking forward to it, because it is a new part of the map, new grinding spots to explore, and funny enough, since Dragon came out, I didn't grind at all in any of its 3 grinding spots. Even though it's new content, I for some reason don't feel the need to grind it. Why? Because in a way I kind of already moved on to a different game. Basically I don't want to admit that I moved on, but in fact I did. People who watched the channel for a long time may remember that I brought up Mobile Legends in the past, and the reality is that I picked that game up almost 1 year ago in December, and at first I just played it, you know, casually, maybe once a week, less than once a week, but in the last 6 months or so, basically over time it started taking more and more time, to a point where I would play that on my tablet more than I play Black Desert, and up until a couple of weeks ago that was the case. Basically I started to enjoy playing in my bed on my tablet Mobile Legends more than I would enjoy just randomly grinding in Black Desert, whatever spot, just for the sake of playing Black Desert. Because the reality was that whenever I would sit in front of my PC and play Black Desert, it was either, is there a node war tonight? Yes, no. If there is a node war, I would maybe have some fun. If there isn't a node war, I would have to grind or maybe do some life skills. Overall, not much that is actually exciting. In fact, on the past, I don't even know how many months, most of the time, if not always, when I play Black Desert, I have on my second monitor either Netflix or whatever running, just to keep me entertained so I don't get bored of playing Black Desert. On the other hand, on my tablet, it's a totally different story, just because Mobile Legends, as you may have guessed from the name, it's a MOBA game, which from the very ground up, it's built to not involve grinding. It's that experience of where you don't need any gear or any level to feel like you are already on par with other players, and you can just simply fire up one game and get a fair experience of PvP. That's why actually I believe I got addicted to the game, and why over time I started playing that more than Black Desert. Because it's very easy to just pick up my tablet, sit on my bed, go and spam ranked games, which in that game, Mobile Legends, it's about 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes more, but usually about, let's say, 15 minutes per game, so it's quick and it's rather fun once you get used to some of the champions. If you played League of Legends in the past, you already know how it feels to actually enjoy playing League of Legends. So that's kind of that. As I said, this video is not scripted, so I may go all over the place talking about stuff, mixing topics here and there, but anyway. Once I made the Blue Gear video and I kind of basically I feel like I reached that certain point where somehow all of a sudden I stopped opening Black Desert, because on the past few months I would kind of, for the most part, do AFK fishing or maybe grind half an hour a day and play Mobile Legends on my tablet about the same amount of time as I would play Black Desert, a couple of hours a day. But about 3 weeks ago I reached that specific point, you know, that point when you just all of a sudden stop playing a game, in this case Black Desert. I'm not sure why it happened now. Actually, I may know exactly why, because as I said, I've been playing Mobile Legends until a couple of weeks ago, but then I moved on to League of Legends. So due to some of my friends on Discord, I decided to again pick up League of Legends on my PC and you know, give the game another try, see if I can experience something new. The reason why I did that, honestly, is because after playing Mobile Legends for so long, I kind of explored almost all of its champions. That's one of the attractions of a MOBA game. You pick up a champion or hero, whatever they are called, you learn its mechanics, spam a couple of games, maybe 100 games, let's say, as a point on that champion until you decide to get bored of it, then move on to the next one and to the next one, and so on until you feel like you kind of learned all of its heroes, and then you are not so enticed to play the game. And that's why I decided to transition from that into League of Legends, because it's, you know, a whole new set of champions, different game, different mechanics, and I thought, why not try it out? Maybe I could have some fun with my Discord friends, which they know who they are if they are actually watching this video. Meanwhile, Black Desert was pretty much sitting in my bar, fishing over and over. I've done a couple of small progress, I would say, in the past month in Black Desert, even though I didn't really play the game. The game was just simply, you know, I was AFK fishing all day long, but there were some minor improvements. I will have whatever clips I collected playing. Basically, there was a point where I would I got +2 Khafra enhancement on my stuff and +2 on my awakening, and the way I did it was just simply pre-ordering over and over Khafra stones in between playing Mobile Legends. So the way I would do it is queue up for a ranked game, and basically queue up for a ranked game. As I said, those take about 15 minutes on average each. And if I happened to die halfway through the game, where the respawn timers would be maybe 30 seconds, I would get up from my bed, go on my PC, see if the pre-order for Khafra stones succeeded. If it did, I would put up a new pre-order and then send my regen back to fishing. If not, I would pick up the pre-ordered Khafra stones, which the maximum is 10, after every ranked game, which was 10 to 15 minutes, and I spammed that over and over until I got enough Khafra stones to get +2 on stuff and +2 on awakening, so that was interesting. I got my bags enhanced to Tet. That happened actually quite a while ago. I recently sniped a Tet Nuver, so finally I have that, even though I'm not sure if I really want it. I mean, I don't have the gear score to truly transition to only Nuver. I still need my Kutum, but there were a couple of nice improvements that I made in Black Desert. I made use of the 1000% experience event as well. I'm going to have a different video talking about, you know, my grind in that time, but yeah, I basically did play Black Desert every now and then, but for the most part I was inactive. Besides playing Mobile Legends, as I said, I was moving on to League of Legends, and I tried that one out, and finally the third time, you know, is the lucky one. The third time picking up League of Legends, I finally kind of got into the game. So for about a week and a half, I basically spammed League of Legends over and over. I stopped playing Mobile Legends altogether just to play League of Legends. So that was interesting. I kind of got into jungling because on Mobile Legends, laning is, I was more interested in the jungling system in League of Legends because on the mobile game there is no jungle. Each lane kind of takes the jungle monsters closest to it. There is no dedicated jungler, while in League of Legends, you may know, there is a dedicated jungler. So I tried to get into that role and play only jungle games along with other roles. You know how it is, just try different champions, but in general I just spammed jungle over and over, and it's quite interesting because there are a lot of different outcomes, a lot of champions that you can try out, and it's quite relaxing, to be honest, because the mobile version, the match only lasting 10 to 15 minutes, it's pretty much non-stop action. There is no time to just chill and sit around or look on the monsters. Basically you don't have those dead times where you can just chill in lane, just CSing monsters over and over. On the tablet game, you don't need to CS monsters, you just simply enter the laning phase. Once you hit level 4 and you have your ult, it's pretty much the golden time when you can start ganking other lanes and just it's a much faster paced game. On the PC one, being more relaxed, it was a completely different experience and it got me addicted to it. I actually was wondering for a pretty long time if I should transition and maybe start uploading Mobile Legends content into the channel. As I stated, I've been playing that game for almost a year, even though it wasn't consistent. Basically, I played Black Desert for 2.5 years, and about half of the time I also played Mobile Legends, which kind of means that I know a lot about the game. I could make content for the game, and I would like to some extent, make content, but I never thought it's a good idea to bring it to this channel because pretty much everyone expects me to make Black Desert content and nothing else. There were times when I wanted to just create a completely different channel and somehow manage 2 channels, even though I barely get to upload consistently on this one, but I'm not sure if I'm ever going to do that. And the same can be said about League of Legends. Now that I actually play the game, I played it quite actively until a couple of days ago when somehow I moved on back to Mobile Legends. I could make content for League of Legends as well, but there's also always that question of maybe should I do it or should I not do it? Because at the end of the day, I only tried to make content for 2 other games. That one of them was just a gameplay, Obsidian not included. The other one was what was the name? The Bless Online. That one I didn't really keep on playing the game. I just made 3 videos about it. I'm not sure if I don't know if I should. I feel like I should give it a try. It's natural to attempt to move on to different games, but seeing other channels try it out, like Dungeoneers for example, I can expect where this is going to go. I'm going to put a lot of time and effort into a video and it's going to do really badly, and if I create a separate channel and I put that video on it, it's probably going to do about the same. So I'm better off making a different channel for a different game, which I would rather not do. That's pretty much why I have all of these dead times where I go 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks without uploading anything, because if I can't really get myself to edit a Black Desert video, it means I don't have what to upload. Even though I am playing a different game, I would rather have the channel be dead, with no content than to upload anything else. And this is a problem that I kind of have to fix. You know what's funny? I had similar conversations to this one in my head over the past couple of days, over and over. Just, the ideas would pop up in my head while taking a shower or whatever. And whenever it comes to turning on the microphone and talking about said ideas, I always forget what I wanted to say, or I don't get my point across the same way that it was a couple of days ago in my head. So let me actually get to that poll that I was talking about. So I had two questions that I wanted to ask, but the second one is not really that relevant. The second one was about whether or not I should create a new channel to upload said content for example, League of Legends, or if I should attempt to bring it to this one. That was the question that I'm not going to really ask anymore because I'm not creating a second channel. The main one is basically how you feel about Black Desert right now. I would love for everyone to actually answer the poll, because I would like to know how most of my subscribers, if not the Black Desert community in general, feels about the current state of the game, or how they feel about their journey through the game. So there are going to be three main options. The first one is the case where you are either a new or rather new player to the game, or maybe you are an older player but you still have a lot of stuff to explore in the game. You are genuinely excited about playing the game. You play it as your main MMO, or main game or main MMO. Basically, you are still in that state where you feel like there is a lot to explore in the game. You have either a lot of friends that you play the game with. Basically, you have a reason to keep playing the game as your main MMO. Despite all of the changes made, you still enjoy playing the game after the change of the PvP system, some classes being really weak compared to others, and all of the pay to win that was added into the game. For whatever reason you find, you still enjoy playing this game. That's the first option. The second one is the one where I currently find myself in, is you either played the game for a very long time, say 2.5 years like me, or doesn't matter how much you played the game, but you already feel like you explored most of what the game has to offer in terms of either content or whatever you enjoyed about it. I personally had friends in the guild that I've been friends with them for a long time, and I've seen some of them just straight up quit the game, which gives me this feeling of being left behind, that some people that I knew are no longer around, and I feel like most people have moved on while I'm still playing the game. You may already have the gear you wanted to, the horse you wanted to. Overall, you don't feel that excited about the game, but you may have tried different MMOs like I did. So I didn't mention yet, but I also tried MapleStory 2 in these 4 weeks. You may have tried other MMOs, but you couldn't really get addicted to them. Maybe you played a couple of days, weeks, but in the end you reverted back to Black Desert, either because you invested a lot of time in the game or a lot of money, or you may still have some very close friends playing it. Basically, for whatever reason, you explored most of what the game has to offer, but you're still playing it because there is nothing better to play. You are kind of ready to move on to a new MMO, but there is no better MMO to move on to, because I personally would not move on to an old game, say Guild Wars 2. I would rather wait for something new to come out before I change games. As I said, you are invested in Black Desert too much, to a point where you would rather stick to this game and to the friends you made in this game until something really catches your interest and makes you drop Black Desert to finally move on. And the third point is basically I have no idea why you are watching this video if you are in the third category, but for this one, basically whatever I said on the point number 2, but you are no longer playing the game. It's no longer your main MMO. Maybe you log in once a week, less than once a week, once a couple of weeks, just to see how the game state is, or because you want to check in with your guild, whatever. For whatever reason, it's no longer your main MMO. You moved on to something else, and Black Desert is just a memory of the past. That's why I say for this one, I'm not sure why you are even watching this video or my channel if you moved on. Maybe it's just for me, for whatever reason, but yeah, these are the 3 main points, and I would love to just know, hear what section you find yourself in, because I'm pretty sure I am not the only one who is playing Black Desert just because I have friends in the game, I have a channel tied to the game, and I mean, there are a couple of things that I still enjoy. There are life skills that I can still explore. Dragon, for example, I can explore all of those grinding spots. I still enjoy doing node wars to some extent, but overall I am pretty much ready to move on to a different game, but I don't have what else to move on to. Maybe League of Legends. But yeah, that's why I want to know what topic you find yourself, what section you find yourself in, because I'm sure there are a lot of other people who feel the same way, and just it's a curiosity of mine. I want to know how my subscribers feel about the game. Now, leaving that aside, I did say I played MapleStory 2. I wonder how many of you actually tried out MapleStory 2. I found the game quite interesting, but not complex enough to make me want to main it. I think I played MapleStory 2 for a week, or less than a week in total. When I started it, I spammed it for the first 2 days. It seemed really interesting. The mini games were actually really fun to play, but after, say, you play the game maybe 10 hours, the combat system isn't complex enough. The movement, just using your keyboards, the way you move in the game doesn't really make me want to keep playing it. I don't know, I think the main reason why I stopped playing MapleStory 2 is because of League of Legends. Because right after, basically how it went is I picked up MapleStory 2, I played it for a couple of days, maybe a week, I'm not sure, and immediately after that the conversations started in Discord, and those friends that I was talking about made me pick up League of Legends, and that's pretty much when I dropped MapleStory 2, because I started to get addicted to League of Legends. Maybe I would have kept on playing MapleStory 2, but currently, at the time of recording, how I feel, I would rather play League of Legends than MapleStory 2 if I find myself sitting in front of my computer. Back to Black Desert, do I still play the game? Yes, I was thinking for a couple of days, maybe I should change my guild, maybe I should change my class, basically find a reason, whatever, to spark that love about the game again. I feel like I would benefit from rerolling to a different class, but in the same time the game seems to be doing everything it can to make people not reroll. I mean, with the Kafra system being introduced, now that I have extra attack power and extra renown score, most importantly, on my wizard, I'm not even playing my ranger, because my ranger has less renown AP than my wizard with the same TET boss weapons. So if I do reroll, besides the fact that I need to get to level 60 or 61 again, I need to enhance new weapons to TET, which you may know I don't really enhance. For the past year, all I did was snipe my gear from the marketplace, so I would have to somehow snipe new TET weapons and a new costume, and you just know how it feels to reroll in Black Desert. It's quite a hassle, and I'm not sure if I want to go through that. And about the second idea to change guilds, this one seems like it would make a lot of sense, at least in my head, because it would allow me to meet new people, meet a new community basically. Maybe join a guild that is more oriented towards life skills, so I can do a lot of maybe sea monster hunting, which in my current guild I can't really do, because if I want to spam sea monster hunting, we are limited to the payment we can receive. So if I do too much sea monster hunting, I have to wait maybe 3 or 4 weeks to receive the full payment for that. So that's why I didn't exactly get into sea monster hunting. I'm not sure. I mean, I would still love to do Node Wars. If I change guilds, it would have to be one that makes people want to do both sea monster hunting and Node Wars. It kind of has to be the best of both worlds. It has to be a very active guild that would make me want to stay online as much as possible. So these are kind of the two ideas that came into my head, either changing the guild or changing my class entirely, just to have something exciting about the game. Playing a wizard is kind of relaxing in a way, but it's also boring in the same time, because it's not really a very skill-oriented class. Anyway, my voice is kind of starting to go away. I didn't really speak, at least not in English, over the past weeks too much, so I guess I'm out of training. I don't know, my voice is tired. I kind of talked about all of the topics I wanted to in the video. I probably missed a lot, as I usually do, but basically what I wanted to say is I stopped playing Black Desert because I got addicted to different games. I am kind of back, at least I feel like finally, after taking 4 weeks of doing nothing, I feel like getting into editing and making some more videos. Last time I did that, if you look on my upload dates, I uploaded 3 videos in maybe 2 days. Basically, I took 2 weeks of doing nothing, then I uploaded those 3 videos, and then these 4 weeks of doing nothing. So if I happen to make now, say, 4 to 5 videos one after the other in the span of 1 week, and then again not upload anything in 2 weeks, it wouldn't surprise me. But what I really should do, in my opinion, is to finally just upload whatever other game. I know it's not going to do too well, because at the end of the day, most of you are here for Black Desert content. I will keep making Black Desert content as long as I find something that I can make and that I want to make, which there are a lot of ideas that I still want to make into videos. But I'm never going to be able to move on to a different game if I don't at least try it out. And why am I not making a separate channel like I said I might? This is a topic that I would not want to get too much in depth, because I'm not really into politics, but most of you may have heard of Article 13. If not, I will leave a couple of links in the video description to videos that actually talk about it, about what it is and what danger it kind of poses to social media. So if you are interested in that, just check the first couple of links in the description and it will explain everything. But basically, if Article 13 gets approved, it most likely will mean that my channel will either get deleted or blocked entirely. Which means that if I do want to, say, make a different YouTube channel for League of Legends, there is no reason for me to do that if in 1 or 2 months it may get deleted anyway. So I'm better off, trying my luck here. If it succeeds, I'm going to be very happy. If not, oh well. But yeah, that's currently how I feel about the game. I'm in a state where I'm quite bored about the game. I need a change. I really need to change my mindset about how I feel about Black Desert. I know most of you Not most of you. Some of you commented in different videos of mine how come that I'm still playing the game, how can I get myself to still play the game. Basically, there are a lot of smaller factors that add up into a bigger one. So I still enjoy the combat system. Every now and then I grind maybe 1 hour and I enjoy the grind. I still enjoy doing node wars, especially now that I actually have competitive gear. Basically, since my road to 10 billion series ended, I didn't make the last episode, I still didn't make the last one, but the series ended over a month ago. Since then I actually get positive KDA quite actually always in node wars, so it's very enjoyable to do node wars. Life skills, as I said, every now and then I find something that I want to do. For example, I try out sea monster hunting for the first time, or I try out underwater gathering for the first time. There are still things that I can do in game. Add on top of that the fact that I still have some friends to talk about, to talk with, and my guild or community. I have a YouTube channel tied to the game, which again, extra reason to keep playing it. All of these things add up to my reason to still sticking around with Black Desert, even though I'm ready to move on to a different game if I can find one. So yeah, let me end the video here because it's already very long, and if you are still around, well, thanks for watching. I know that at least you wanted to hear everything I wanted to say. I will see you in a different video, probably about my 1000 experience events, you know, what I grinded in that time. Until then, stay happy, do whatever you want, and yeah. I would say keep playing Black Desert, but some of you probably already are playing something else. Even as you're watching this video, you're probably playing something else. So yeah, see you in a different video pretty soon, and bye bye.